Okay, well, welcome, folks. Welcome to Christus Victor Lutheran Church. Great to have you here tonight. Um, as I mentioned to a couple of you as you were pulling in, about 2 hours ago, the rain was almost a certain deal. So we decided at that point to move all the equipment in, and then the heavens decided to mock. Instead of open, as I'm sure they would have if we set everything outside, they're going to stay lovely all evening. But hey, that's okay, because tonight we are not about the weather. Or even the setting. We are about two things. First is to listen to a very talented singer-songwriter, one that is his music has been enjoyed at our midweek Lenten worships out in the park, and I've personally enjoyed Tim's music. You can, if you have Spotify, you can type his name in and listen as I do in the car to his music. Tonight he is going to be presenting a selection of original works that he has created and over the years. So we're he's very talented. We're very glad to have Tim a part of our congregation, and so enjoying the music tonight. The second thing we're going to be doing tonight is raising money for our scholarship fund, and that is a fairly long-term tradition and commitment that our congregation has made to helping assist students with the cost of education, and for a variety of things, everything from 2-year colleges to 4-year colleges to tech schools. Currently, there is one recipient who is going to flight school because he wants to be a pilot. And so we are very happy to support that. And over the years, literally over $150,000 has been given. Over like 20 years. I mean, the long-term congregational commitment to helping scholarships. So that's the first thing. 2 years ago, we also decided, the scholarship committee also decided to extend not only giving scholarships to students of Christus Victor community, but also we now give a scholarship to a non-church member in the community. So last year it went to a graduating student at Estero High School. And this year it'll be going to a graduating student in Bonita Springs High School. So we're excited about that. And we actually have our scholarship folks here. We have our chairperson, Judy Butcher, Dorothy Thomas, Jess Dickerson, Dixon, I'm sorry. I always want to put an R in there. Sorry. And also Pastor Courtney and myself get to serve on that committee as well. So we are grateful for your presence tonight, presence and presence tonight, the generosity for future scholarships. And in about a month's time, about a month, we will be presenting a scholarship to that Bonita High School student at their annual end of the year scholarship assembly for graduating seniors. So lots of good things happening. So enjoy tonight. You didn't come here to hear me talk. I present to you Tim Quaberg.
Thanks, Walt. Well, thank you all for being here. It's truly a pleasure and a joy for me to be here with you and share some of my songs. I always tell people these songs are kind of my blood, sweat, and tears, and so to be able to share them with y'all is well, it's kind of why I write them. And hopefully you hear or overhear something in one or more of them that touches your heart and does something for you in a good way. I'm going to start with a song that I wrote for my number one child when she was 13 maybe. She's now 34 or 5, something like that. But when she was about to be confirmed, and I was out mowing the lawn thinking I should really do something for her and say something to her that maybe I wouldn't otherwise find a way to say, and this is what happened. So. Did you ever wonder if anyone really understands how all the things we count on are built on shifting sands, living with our illusions, we bow to their demands, never really knowing what's slipping through our hands. Who hung the stars in the heavens? Who called the waves from the sea? Who conquered all of the madness and forged a place to be? Life makes no promises, there's no guarantee. Trying to find an exit, we lose the mystery. Always running in circles, falling to the ground. He says to you, "Arise, my child, you were lost, but now you're found." Who hung the stars in the heavens? Who called the waves from the sea? Who conquered all of the madness and forged a way to be? I saw you in church today, an angel robed in white, confirming all our hopes for you, living in the light. I read the morning paper, the headline said it all, another bomb, a mother's cry, there's no sense to it all. I can't pretend to find comfort in the face of loss, but war and its rumors lead me to the cross. Who hung the stars in the heavens? Who called the waves from the sea? Who hung the stars in the heavens? Who called the waves from the sea? Who conquered all of the madness and forged a way to be free? Thank you. You can see that we titled this concert Songs in the Key of Faith. I can't help but write songs that come from me, from my heart, and somehow most of them kind of are, there's some nugget of faith within the songs, whether it's explicit or just implied. So I hope that I hope you pick up on that. It's probably hard to miss. But so one of my favorite theologians, as one of the early church fathers, was Saint Augustine, who was the bishop of Hippo in Egypt. I think, is that right, you guys? Courtney, right? I think, right? Well, yeah. So Augustine, he was a pretty important person. And one of the neat things about him is he was just a regular guy, and he didn't really want to be a churchy type person. And after he became a Christian and a theologian and a bishop, he wrote a book called his Confessions. And so it was kind of about how he came to faith. I think he's the one who's famously known as saying, "Help me to stop sinning, but not yet." Isn't that right? Does that sound familiar? I think. Anyway, but one of the cool things that he said, it's the inscription of his book on the Confessions of Augustine. He says this little prayer. He says, "You have made us for yourself, and our hearts are restless until they rest in thee." And I've always liked that little nugget. This is a song that kind of has to do with the yearning that is in us for God, even if we might be saying not yet. There's still something in us that is kind of searching for, yearning for the holy. And so this is Your Eyes. Far beyond the reaches of this universe or time, impressed upon the pages of my dreams, long before the ages knew of innocence or crime, you looked into the very heart of me, and I want to run to you, I want to be with you, I want to gaze into your eyes, I want to run to you, I want to be with you, gaze into your eyes. We scavenge through the ruins of some ancient race or tribe. All that's left for comfort is our creed. And tossed about by circumstance and scattered in our pride, our emptiness reminds us of our need. And we need to run to you, we need to be with you, we need to gaze into your eyes, we need to run to you, we need to be with you, gaze into your eyes. And on and on and on and on this wheel was made to roll, closer to the truth, our true beginning, let us go. On and on and on and on, the broken we made whole. We find you in the corners of our soul. Forsaken at the altar, like some misbegotten bride, unveiled at last our eyes can finally see, and taken by the power of the all-forgiving tide, We sail beyond the wreckage and debris, because far across this universe, into this space and time, you stepped out from our imprint and revealed. Hidden deep within you is our reason, where we find your loving face and precious grace, a lamb by which we're healed. And I want to run to you. I want to run to you. I want to run to you, be with you, gaze into your eyes, your eyes, your eyes. Thank you. I'm just going to real quick. Okay. I just put new strings on, so. I was once sitting in bed early on a Saturday morning, and I was thinking about people I knew in my family who I just felt were kind of in need of a little help that I couldn't give them. And I was kind of laying there thinking, well, the only thing I can do is say a prayer for them. And sometimes, it is that way when things happen with us and with other people, and there's really no fix that we can accomplish. Just to kind of reach out to them in prayer, to ask God to somehow be with them, is a really kind of miraculous thing just to be able to do for people, whether they know it or not. And I can't prove that it works, but I think it does. At a minimum, it does something for us. It helps to give us a little peace, I think. And anyway, so this is a song called "Say a Prayer." Whoopsie. There we go. She sits at the table of a sidewalk cafe, dreaming of the south of France. I'm an espresso, she's a latte. I know all the steps to her dance. Say a prayer. Say a prayer. Her face in the window is like a dream to me. We walk hand in hand, store to store. She says, who is that woman looking back at me? I don't know her anymore. Say a prayer. Say a prayer. Life is a game that none of us win. The only way out is deeper within. She'll find the answer in there that can take her anywhere. If I say a prayer, say a prayer. He lives out a secret in a bottle of pills. There's a hole in his heart and his soul. He trades in his Chevy for a new Coupe de Ville. Still all he ends up here is, oh, say a prayer. Say a prayer. Life is a game that none of us win. The only way out is deeper within. He'll find the answer in there that can take him anywhere. If I say a prayer, say a prayer. Now the kids are all grown, I guess everything ends. My hair is turning thin and gray. You said it's never too late to start over again. Lord, it's only by your grace that I say a prayer. Say a prayer. Life is a game that none of us win. The only way out is deeper within. I'll find the answer in there that can take me anywhere. If you say a prayer, say a prayer. It's all you gotta do. Say a prayer for me. Say a prayer. Say a prayer. Say a prayer. Say a prayer. Thank you. Well, there's a song that kind of has to do with little things in life. I wrote this thinking about how I know a lot of people who are very ambitious. I have known a lot of ambitious people, and sometimes their ambitions are sort of, grandiose, a little bit. I gotta tell you, I have grandiose ambitions sometimes myself, which what it does is it keeps me from seeing and noticing and appreciating and being grateful for little things in life. And so that's what this song is about, all the little things. Sometimes I wonder what makes it worthwhile. Too many faces and too little smiles. They're running faster, but they're running late. They're just too busy to appreciate all the little things, all the little things, all the little things. Everyone's rushing to be living large, so grandiose, but who's in charge when you're living in fear and doing without? You're not living, you're missing out on all the little things, all the little things, all the little things. my coffee, that love that you taught me. You can't smile without them, they're right beside you, just like warm summer breezes and a purpose that pleases, like walking barefooted. Don't you say you could have. Well, I know I'm not sitting on a pot of gold, but I've seen my share of rain and rainbows. No, you won't find a fortune at the rainbow's end. Why chase illusions when your time's better spent on all the little things, 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 all the little things. Thank you. So I was had a friend. I used to be a lawyer before I retired, which happened just a little over a year ago, I think. But I had a friend who I used to work with, and he called me up one day and told me, he said, you know, I've been waking up every night at 3 a.m. and I don't know what's going on. I feel like God is trying to get to me somehow. And he actually was thinking about going into the ministry. His dad was a religion professor, and so it came by it honestly, and he was thinking about going into the ministry. And so we had this conversation, but that I was really captivated by that line about having woken up every night at 3 a.m. because that's happened to me before. I don't know if it has happened to you, but where you kind of and I think maybe it's one of those things. Maybe God is trying to tell you something, and who knows what. But I wrote this song for my friend Mark, and it's called Ordained. It's called Ordained because, so I was ordained once, but it was in the ministry before I went to law school. But I like the notion of ordination. Nothing against ordination as a called and ordained minister of the gospel in the church, but of having a God-ordained kind of purpose in the world. I mean, we all kind of have that, or maybe more than one, but often we don't think of it as that. And so I very intentionally wanted to talk about being ordained in some way. So this is that. Up at 3 a.m. every night last week, filled with an emptiness that just won't let me sleep. Each look at the clock reminds me I've been wasting time trying to live some other life instead of living mine. Distracted by the answers in the books upon my shelf. I've reread most every one, and I still can't find myself. Living life my own way, pretending not to know the you I was so sure about many years ago. Take this broken heart and fill it with your light. And take this wounded soul and will it into the fight. I know you're the one who even wind and waves obey. Who am I to stand in the way. I just want to live my life, the one that you ordained, the one that you ordained. Another night of restless turning, it's 3 a.m. again. I reminisce my yesterdays with you again, old friend. All those years of trying, making all the right moves, always something more to do, something left to prove. And while you laid your plans for me, I went on denying. You kept looking for me, and I kept hiding. But now that you have found me, my heart can't be contained. You met me in my weakness and overlooked my stains. You took this broken heart and filled it with your light. You took this wounded soul and with it into the fight. I know you're the one who even wind and waves obey. Who am I to argue or stand in the way? I just want to live my life, the one that you ordained, the one that you ordained. Make of me an instrument of peace and all your ways. Help me see your footprints as I walk through my days. When I'm feeling down and out, with no place left to hide, remind me that your door is open, welcome me inside. I know you're the one who even wind and waves obey, and by your grace I am reminded each and every day. I just want to live my life, the one that you ordained, the one that you ordained. Thank you. I sometimes warn my friends that it can be a little dangerous to hang out with me because I might end up writing a song about you. Sometimes, sometimes they don't mind, and maybe they do. I don't know. But so 5 years ago, a little over 5 years ago, I had 0 grandchildren. Okay, I now have 10. Which tells you about the age of my kids, and my wife Jill and I have 7 kids between us, all of childbearing age, and so we have 10 grandchildren, and I'm sure they're not done. But I've written songs for a lot of my grandchildren, and this is one. This is for my granddaughter, whose name is Raina. Raina was 3 weeks overdue, and my daughter was in labor for a long time with her, so we were all kind of waiting, kind of on pins and needles. And so this song is called Worth the Wait. I know what it's like to be waiting. I've been waiting all of my life, counting the days until Christmas, waiting for a friend to arrive. You'd think with all of that waiting, I'd grow into a patient man. But all it seems to have taught me is the toll that time demands. Waiting with great expectations, it can bring you to your knees, calling on all of the angels to answer your pleas. Somehow you made me remember. You made it hard to forget. Some things are worth all the waiting, and you're the best thing yet. Raina, before we had seen you, we didn't know what we were waiting for. From the moment we meet you, you were that and so much more. Waiting with great expectations, it can bring you to your knees, calling on all of the angels to answer your plea. I'd pay that price 10 times over. I'm no victim of fate. What I've learned getting older, it was all worth the wait. Yes, it's hard to be waiting, but sooner or late, this I promise you, darling, it's all worth the wait. Just like you, little Raina, you were well worth the wait. Thanks. Like Tom Petty said, you know, the waiting is the hardest part. And yeah, I'm not a patient man, although I think I have actually become more patient. Joe, what do you think? Yay, see? Well, actually our first grandchild, her name is Alice, and Alice was born just a little over 5 years ago. She's 5 years old. She's our oldest, obviously. When she was born and they named her Alice, I felt I needed to write a song for her, but I also felt in that very same moment I just had to read Alice in Wonderland, which I was more than 30 years old at the time, and I still hadn't read Alice in Wonderland or Through the Looking Glass. So I went out and I got a copy, and I read them. And I came upon this very fun exchange it's in Through the Looking Glass, where Alice is talking with the White Queen, and the White Queen had said something about how old she was, and Alice said, "Well, I can't believe in something impossible," that she was as old as she had said, and the White Queen, she said in response, that, well, you must be deficient in some way, because she says, I have believed as many as 6 impossible things before breakfast. And I love this little thing, and I know I'm not the only one, because if you Google it, you'll find all kinds of stuff, even like T-shirts and mugs and all that stuff that talk about believing in impossible things. But so I wrote this song for Alice that's called Impossible Things. You can't even begin to imagine, or maybe you can, shaking off the shackles that bind you, to break free and be born again. It's impossible, I used to say, till Alice showed me the way. They say a little child shall lead them to where I never knew. It's passed it off as silly wishful thinking, a tale that could never come true. Lord knows this world could stand some improvement. There's so much that feels so wrong. It's just a game we play without conclusion. When will the weak ever be strong? It's impossible, I used to say, till Alice showed me the way. I see her face, it's a mirror, someone so pure and so free. It couldn't be any clearer that someone was me. Like every father before me, and every mother on earth, I see the world through her eyes, it's a wonder, like the moon and the stars at their birth, and all the meanings that others invented. They're like a house built on the sand. I found the rock, my foundation. I can be just who I am. It's impossible, I used to say, till Alice showed me the way. It's impossible, is that what you say? Let Alice show you the way, and you will believe impossible things every day. Thanks. So when my son was in 5th or 6th grade, I forget what, we were driving up to our family cabin, and reminiscing about his childhood, well, his younger childhood, when he used to have a rocking horse and stuff like that. And it was really a terribly fun conversation. And when I got up to the cabin, I went back into one of the back bedrooms and sat and wrote this song with tears on my face the whole time. It was just kind of fun to do. It's I have a number of songs that kind of look at childhood and stuff. Paul Ricoeur he's a French philosopher, but he talked about a second naivete. So kids are kind of naive, right? They'll believe just about anything you tell them. Impossible things even, they'll believe them, right? But we get pretty jaded over time, and we're like the people from Missouri. We're the show me people. You kind of want to, I'll believe that when I see it. Doubting Thomas kind of people, right? But often it happens that we get to a point in our lives where we start kind of circling back to a childlike mindset where we're more willing to entertain things that maybe we had left behind in some kind of way. But in any event, this is Little Red Wagon. Well, I was a child of faraway dreams, a boy running wild through forests and streams, a heart without doubt in search of the truth. I was awash in the fountains of youth. But time took its toll and taught me to count, took a hold of my soul and threw the boy out. And I just don't know, I still can't see. Did I take the road or did the road take me? My little red wagon became a red bike. Suddenly how I had grown. Said goodbye to the visions that once ruled my nights, for I had a dream of my own. 'Cause before you arrived, I dreamed you here, that look in your eye, your golden hair, and from that night on, I've always known that one day you'd carry me home. My son, like the sun, I can't count the ways you lit up my path every time that I strayed, and all that I ask for is all that you are, a piece of my past, dust from a star. Your little red wagon became a red bike. Suddenly how you had grown. Said goodbye to the visions that once ruled your nights, for you had a dream of your own. And there'll come a day when you leave our home, and I will have faith in the seeds that I've sown. And maybe you'll doubt or question the truth, if there ever was a fountain of youth. But a little red wagon will become a red bike. You'll be amazed how he's grown. His rocking horse visions will again rule your nights, when you have a boy of your own. And whenever you carry him, you'll carry me home. my son David, for whom I wrote that song, has 2 little boys now, and he's really kind of cool. He plays that song to them a lot. Kind of cool. Anyway, there's so many ways in which people in our lives are more than a prayer for us. They are actually love incarnate, love in its many ways. And this is a song that's kind of about that. It's called More Than a Prayer. I blow out the candle, whisper good night. I know you're beside me till the morning light. Every day spent with you is more than a prayer. Though I've often searched, with you I find when I need direction, you are the sign. More than a friend, you defend me, and I know you're there. I had spent my life waiting for a mountain to climb, something worth giving all my love and my time. I was battered and bruised on the brink of despair. When I looked up, you were there. You were more than a prayer. Well, I used to think love was easy to find. Throw out a hook, reel in the line. After my share of adventures, I was lonely and scared. And just when I thought I was about to give up, you came along. You called my bluff and gave me just what I needed, the truth and a dare. You said I am the life in the sun and the rain. When it's all said and done, only I will remain. Nobody's fortune could begin to compare to something so real and so rare. You are more than a prayer. You are more than a prayer. You're the beat of my heart. You're the wine in my cup. When I need air, you fill me up. When I'm lonely and scared, I believe you are there. Your love for me, so much more than a prayer. Yeah, I found you waiting on my front porch stairs, keeping a promise you made to be there. That's what sustains me when this world's unfair. That's why I give you more than a prayer. You are more than a prayer. Thank you. So there's just a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. It pushes our belief, pushes our belief system to have some of the stuff that's going on. I wrote a song many years ago. My sister-in-law was working in the VA hospital with brain injury soldiers from all the IEDs and stuff in Iraq and Afghanistan. And she was telling me these really sad stories, about which I was totally unaware, just not even aware. And I felt so kind of guilty about that. Really felt stupid. People who were getting injured or getting killed. And it was kind of like, it was hardly even in the papers, you know? It was kind of really disturbing to me. And so I wrote this song, and I haven't played it in years. Other than just me, because I like it, but I haven't performed it in a long time. But I feel like I kind of need to. So it's called When the War Comes Home. Well, the mail came early this afternoon. Her husband at work and their children at school. An unopened letter alone on the shelf. Is this what it's like? She says to herself, when the war comes home. Her son overseas with a few good men and 10,000 prayers of his family and friends in another man's war, another man's fight, and they can't imagine what it feels like when the war comes home. And we fill up our tanks, we shop at the mall, we sit and we watch while our children play ball. At the sight of a flag in the breeze we recall that war means nothing when it's nothing at all. When the war comes home. A boy up ahead on the side of the road, a bomb in the rubble set to explode. At the soldier's approach, a bang and a blast. Now two mothers mourn for their sons in Iraq. When the war comes home. His last letter home sits in a bag. The valor of youth draped in a flag, though duty and honor will never be lost. A nation at war will know what it cost when the war comes home. And we fill up our tanks, we shop at the mall, we sit and we watch while our children play ball. At the sight of a flag in the breeze we recall that war means nothing when it's nothing at all. What on earth will we do when the war comes home? When the war comes home. Well, the mail came early this afternoon. Thank you. So I'm mindful of the time. I can see the magic clock back there. It says it's 8 o'clock. And we kind of scheduled this for an hour. I can tell you that I'd play more if you want. But I also kind of don't want you to feel like you have to hang around or anything like that. Walt, do you have any suggestions or? Okay. Well, I can certainly do that. Maybe I'll do one that I wrote a song for my grandmother as she was dying, and I got to play it for her. She was pretty out of it, but they say that hearing is the last thing to go, and so I kind of hope she heard it. It's about her. Her name was, in America, her name was Gertrude. And in Norway, her home country, is much more pretty. It was Gudrun. And so this is a song about little sister Gudrun. She was the youngest child, the little sister of her big brothers, all of whom had already gone to America. And she went over in 1914. It was the last ship to leave Bergen, Norway on the before World War I broke out. And it's kind of a story, so it's a little bit, it's about her, but it's kind of about all of us too, so. The last ship out of Bergen, transatlantic USA. The world is on the brink of a war. Little sister Gudrun holds her mother's hand and prays. The year 1910 and 4. Born upon an island off of Norway's western coast, headed off to other lands unknown. As she stares across the water, huddled in her coat, she whispers, someday I'll be coming home. You can sail across the ocean, over miles of desert sands, any place that you may choose to roam, with Mother Earth beneath you, your life in heaven's hands. Every step you take will lead you home. From New York's Ellis Island, she rode the rails out west, and sailed a wagon across the grassy seas. On the Minnesota prairie, her journey came to rest, and from that place she'd start a family. The fields of Minnesota turned to California sun, and Sister Gudrun came into her own, though new horizons awaited for the woman she'd become. A distant shore would always be her home. You can sail across the ocean, over miles of desert sands, any place that you may choose to roam, with Mother Earth beneath you, your life in heaven's hands. Every step you take will lead you home. Now she sleeps in silent vigil. Her daughter holds her hand. She peers beyond the veil of heaven's dome. The moon and stars a lamppost as she nears the promised land. She sighs and whispers, I'm coming home. You can sail across the ocean, over miles of desert sands, any place that you may choose to roam. With Mother Earth beneath you, your life in heaven's hands. Every step you take will lead you home. With every step you take, you're going home. So that's a good line to end on. Every step you take, you're coming home. And thanks for being here. May God bless you on your way home. And Courtney, do you want to? You could use this.
I just wanted to thank you all for coming again this evening. As a reminder, we do have the buckets in the back that have the option of putting in cash or a check or QR codes. You can also share that with your friends and say, hey, I know you might not have been able to make it tonight, but this is a really great fund that we're sponsoring. As Pastor Walt mentioned before, we fund scholarships within the congregation, but also outside the congregation. Last year, the student was going on to study nursing. We don't know what this year's student's going to go on to study, but we hope that that is a job and a career that they will be able to fulfill God's work for them in this world. And so we thank you all for being here. We want to say thank you to those who are running our AV, Katie and Bill. They made the quick adjustment when we moved inside from because of the weather. And then let's give one final round of applause to Tim. I will send us out with a prayer. Let us pray. God, we ask that everybody gathered here return home safely this evening. We give you thanks for their support of this scholarship fund and ask that you be with all young people in our congregation and beyond, that they might find purpose in you and serve your purpose in this world. In your Son's name we pray. Amen.